system. That's what TMS stands for. There are many out there to choose from. We chose zipForm because it is integrated within the system that, as I said earlier, 70% of our agents already either have access to or hopefully are using. What is the purpose? The purpose is to paperlessly manage transactions, process transactions, and store transactions, both at the agent level and at the brokerage level. The benefits of this are the reduction of resources for both agents and offices. So no more hard copy files, right? Increased efficiency for agents and for administrative staff. That's going to lead into convenience for more remote agents and also for agents that are in the office all the time. All of this is wrapped into a familiar interface, zipForm. Many of you already have logins to zipForm. There's someone in your office that's creating user accounts every time a new agent comes on. So you at least have somewhat of a familiar interface in that way. Now, Scott is doing, obviously, the agent training. He always does that. I've been traveling around doing admin training. So what does all of this mean for you as admins? No more hard copy files and no more storage of those files. So no more calls to Iron Mountain. Come get these boxes, right? No more calling for archived files when there's an issue or a question or something. You can go right into your agent's transactions and pull up transactions for as long as the agents have been using zipForm. They're in there. So even prior to the use of zipTMS, even those transactions are in there. They may not be as organized as the zipTMS ones will be, hopefully, but they'll be there. And that leads us into they're accessible from anywhere, 24/7, from any internet-enabled device. You don't have to run into the office and pull out a folder and start fumbling through there to look for things. Everything is right there on the internet, in the cloud, right? Going through there, it will help with compliance as well, because there are checklists and placeholders and reminders built into the system. There is a communications system built into the system. And the agents know when something is missing because you can see the actual working transaction. It's not like they have this folder at home that they're only giving you what they want to give you. It's in the system. What's signed is in there. If it's not there, it doesn't exist, and you tell them that it doesn't exist, which they already know. You can set a reminder. They start getting emails. Once they turn it in, they stop getting bugged by these emails. There's no flag anymore. There's nothing that says their offer is not approved by the office if they give you everything that they need. So hopefully this is going to help with Carlos and increase compliance. Again, remote and on-site agents will submit everything digitally. There's no more handing you a pile of papers for you to run through. And for you as admin staff, if I haven't been to your office yet, I do have a long list of offices that I have been to. I will come out and train you personally, one-on-one, in a small group, however you wish that to happen. If you've been into zipForm lately, or if some of your agents have been, they'll notice that the user interface has changed some. And this is just a brief overview of what an actual transaction looks like now. It's very different from the old times when they would open up zipForm and open up a transaction. It would just automatically load all of the documents. Now it kind of opens up to where it's a little more involved when you first look at it. But when you go through it, there's a workflow now. Whereas before it was just, here's the transactions, put in all your information. When you first open it now, it opens to this summary page right here. These are the click-throughs. So it opens to the summary page. They can import data from RPR or from the MLS straight from this page. The next one is parties. They enter all their parties. And then again, on the summary page, you can see the parties over here on the left. Over here on the right, these are kind of frequently used utilities within the system. So once they enter their parties, they move over to their documents. This is where they work on entering all the data in their documents. The data that they enter on the summary page does share over to that document page. all the global fields, just like when using your broker demand cover sheet, all those global fields do populate into the documents. The checklists are not widely used yet. This is the brand new part of TMS. This can be set for due dates. They can be reliant on, say, the closing date. It can be reliant on a bottom line date where the agent will start getting reminders. These are also set by you, the admins, due dates for your agents. So if they turn in a file and they still need a form, you can tell them, I need this form by such and such a date. They get those reminders. This is where that can go in. And then notes. This is just an ancillary kind of communication area where you can put notes in a file. If there's something special about the file that you want to remind yourself or the agent for later, you can put a note in here. And then the history. When you click on that history button, you see every single thing that has happened in this transaction from the moment that they created it. Whether they put in a form and decided they didn't want it and pulled it back out, or if they sent something through the DocuSign, the client signed it and it comes back. All of that is documented. So in order for all of this to happen, this button right here, submit for review, that's what it looks like bigger, that's what they click. So once they have all their documents signed and they're ready to hand you that folder, that's how they digitally turn in their file. For some reason they missed that little thing, don't they, Andrea? So once they click it, this is the pop-up screen that they get. This section is where the notes go in. So say new listing, please process. Use review, hit apply. The agent or the admin then gets, let's see if I can go backward one. Yeah, see up here where this red bell is? That's an in-app notification. So the admin will get a notification there and an email saying that something's been submitted. Go there. They can go through the email, they can go through their dashboard, which I'm not going to show you quite yet. I'll do that on site. And explain to you the processes from your end from that point. I know Alyssa's here. Alyssa's been using it quite a bit. Haven't you? Yeah. There's quite a few people or offices that have been using it. Yesterday, a video went out from Scott and Carrie. Kind of an overview of what I just talked about here. I encourage you to go ahead and watch that video. This is my contact information. If I haven't been to your office yet, please make contact. You're ready to start this up or at least get educated on the process. I would love to come out anytime. The offices at the bottom I've already been to. There's actually a few others that are not on that list. Some are experiencing great success. Some are running with it the minute I leave. Others are kind of taking some test groups and getting more familiar with it at a slower pace. Others I think are going to need another visit, and that's okay too. As long as you're embracing it, I'm willing to come out as many times as you'd like. So, yes.
What if the agent doesn't use it for us? We have in our office is that just something they have to start using?
We'll have to talk to your manager and see what the answer will be to that. There are ways to get things into the system without the agent using it. Anyone? Yes.
If we're going paperless, then what will we do? Like the EMVs, the checks, the closing docs, and things like that.
It all goes paperless. So you'll have.
So even when we get a check, then will we destroy it after we?
Melanie, what are you doing with your checks?
What I'm doing with all of the reports that have to be printed out and receive them as a PDF, and I upload them into an Office Docs folder in the transaction so that agents can see it, but it's in part of the transaction. I take the deposit slip from the EMV system and the checks, and that goes into the folder at my desk, and I haven't decided on how to do it yet, but I do have a record of everything for the time being.
We are converted to digital as much as possible. Okay. Yes.
Where do you save all the paperwork for each deal once it's completed?
There is no paper.
On my computer.
It's not on your computer. It is within the zipForm platform. It is an online utility. So all of the documents, all of the forms are saved digitally. Yes.
So periodically, the form will not work.
Periodically. We had an outage last week for about 2 hours.
Yeah. Or we'll have no internet or things like that. What
what steps are there to like deal with that situation, I guess?
I've been working with zipForm for about 5 years. There's been 2 outages since I've been working with them, and total it's been less than 5 hours. So in that realm, I mean, I know at home, I had to take my daughter to the gym with me last night so she could do her homework because our internet never works. It's constantly up, constantly down. So I think that these are just times that we live in. Occasionally you're going to have an outage. It's not going to be the end of the world. It's not going to last long.
So will the agents then keep their own paperwork, like the exclusive rights themselves?
That all goes in a digital file. If they choose to keep their own paper file, that is their choice and they can do that. But they do not need to turn that into you.
Okay.
Anybody? Yes?
So some of my agents are starting to roll with this program. And they're having issues where DocuSign used to remember the client's email address and their name when they entered it. Whereas like now through the program, it's not doing that at all. They have to manually enter the client's name, first name, last name, and then go find this email and their other email forms.
They
and then
need to use the
incorporate
new
it that way.
interface
Yeah.
and use that parties tab.
Okay.
Okay? If they're entering that information in there, it'll be there. I can show you some shortcuts if you want, one-on-one. Anyone else? Yes, Josh?
So once this rolls out to more offices and it's kind of company-wide, Proper Power is currently working on a connector for zipTMS. So when you go in to enter your sale information, when you enter the address, you'll first go to zipTMS to look for